to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today with me is Shawn Weed. He is a former private chef from New York. He is the owner of the Acre Restaurant here in Albuquerque. Chef Shawn combines his nostalgia for the Midwest with his passion for supporting local business, seasonal dining, and crafting delicious, approachable food into his favorite neighborhood kitchen. Stick around. I'd like to introduce him to you. Hi, Shawn. How are you?
Hi, good morning, Nancy. It's great to see you. It's great to see your face
I
and without a
know.
mask on.
Yes, and it's great to actually see you. I haven't seen you in a while. I think last time I saw you was at the Veg Fest, and that's so sad.
I know, I know. We've got to get back to these normal, great things we do.
Well, I like to say it's not normal, but the new normal. We have
Yes,
to
absolutely.
we have to devise new normal ways to
Hmm.
interact.
Absolutely. And be more flexible and be more loving, even though the world's a little different.
Right. So, with that said, I'd like to ask you, how is the restaurant business? You own the Acre here in Albuquerque. How is it
Yep.
going during these restrictions on and off? It must be driving you crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's driving everyone a little crazy, my staff included, but we're lucky we provide a really nice service for, vegetarians and vegans, a lot of vegans. Um, but the community is very supportive, which is wonderful. But the on again, off again is the hardest part. Not knowing how you can plan for next month, and that's particularly difficult, as you know, with events. Like, how do you get people together? Virtually, you can do that with talking, but with food, how do you get food to people? And that's a little tricky. But every day we learn a little more and we move forward. We're doing a lot better than most restaurants because we do have a very good community of people that support us and we help make good food for. So that's really, really been nice to see the community kind of come together and help us persevere. There's a lot of restaurants that aren't going to reopen, but we've never had to close. We haven't closed a day yet. And I think because of our plant-based diets at the restaurant, not one of my staff has gotten sick. So we've had zero cases of COVID the entire time. So that's the other thing I'm really feel pretty blessed about. And I think goes along with the message of what we all do here is trying to eat plant-based because not only is it the right thing to do, but it's good for our bodies. And it's proof in my staff being so healthy, and a lot of them didn't eat plant-based when I hired them. And now we just slowly convert them. And now that we've converted them and they're healthy and they're the only one in their family maybe not getting sick, they're going, see, you should eat this way. It works. And that just feels good too.
That's subtle advocacy.
And that's what I do. You know me, Nancy, I'm not a very pushy person. I want you to try it and experience it and then see what you think. And I know you're going to love it. So I just got to get the food in front of you.
There you go. There you go. So all this time you've been able to, people can call in, place an order
Yep.
online or on the
Yep.
phone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we have two patio tables. They get pretty full and busy on the weekends because they're 10 feet apart from each other. To be safe, we always go above and beyond what we're asked to do. But we have two tables, so some people do come and they just want to be outside after being inside behind their computer all day. They want to have a little lunch or something. But as it gets colder, we may have to wait a little while for that to come back. But yeah, we've never had to close. We've stayed open through this entire thing, always providing good food, plant-based food for all of our guests. And that feels really nice. We haven't had to close yet. We've just kept going through it.
That's awesome. And now there is an upsurge of plant-based eating because of the
Yep.
pandemic. And are you
Yep.
seeing that happen? More people
We're
who are
seeing,
not vegan,
yeah,
vegetarians.
absolutely. It's definitely the Beyond Burger is my blessing and my curse because it brings so much attention to plant-based eating, but it's manufactured and we don't do manufactured food. So that part to us is a little like, but it is bringing this curiosity about the kind of cuisine, which is just amazing. We have so many regular, I call them regular people, normally carnivorous people calling and saying, what's this all about on the phone? And
D-
it's it's really nice to hear the curiosity and to
That
sort of direct them to get a little foot into it and see what they think. And then when they come to pick up their food, we have a little conversation, a little dialogue, and kind of explain to them what they're about to eat and why it's important if they care, or just explain why it's delicious, which they always care about.
let's just call them all pre-vegans. That's what I do.
Pre-vegans, I like that. You should coin that.
That's what
You
I
should
call
coin
them.
that. Pre-vegans, I like it. No, but
Pre-vegans.
yeah. But I mean, Nancy, you and I have had many conversations that, the community needs to really be accepting of people that are just starting on the journey and not be so critical so that they get embraced and feel loved and they feel the compassion that we're all sharing instead of feeling shamed that maybe they're not there yet. And
And that,
our
yeah,
restaurant's very open about that. So, and I know you are.
yeah. I mean, because ultimately the message of veganism is love, so it has to be in
Absolutely.
everything you do. I mean, it's not
Yes,
just in being vegan, but it's also interacting with love and compassion to everybody you meet, or with everybody
absolutely.
you meet.
Absolutely. And especially these times where people are so isolated. They
Right.
don't need another negative thing in their life. They need positive, they need community, they need love. They
Right.
need someone to hug them through food.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. We're putting a loving embrace and a kiss into the food and we're sending it off so that they get to have it.
Love and compassion as you're cooking. Those are your thoughts. Uh,
Yep.
those are your movements. It's everything that has to do with kindness that goes into your food.
Yes.
Like I will not cook mad. I will not cook
Exactly. Oh,
angry.
you can't.
And I
Have
know
you ever
that
tried
that's
to
how
make a
you are.
you ever tried to make a loaf of bread when you're upset? It won't rise. It'll be awful. It's like a disc. It's just you can't do it. You have to be in the right mind state. I mean, bread is the most obvious one, but every kind of food benefits from positivity and love. Everything does. I think it's obvious when you have good food that a chef or even just a cook or a relative even made, where they come and they give it to you and they're proud of it. You can taste that. And I don't
Right.
care what anybody says. That's the secret sauce.
I believe in that.
Yep.
Cooking with
Um,
compassion makes all the difference.
all the difference, all the difference in the world.
Now tell
And
me, oh sorry. Go
no,
ahead,
go ahead.
finish your sentence and I'll ask you my question.
I was just saying that that's one of the things that you and I have linked us together is that belief, and it's just awesome to share that with somebody.
Yeah, it's great. So tell me a little bit about your holiday recipes, holiday offerings
Yes,
that you're going to be having for people who may not want to cook or
absolutely.
stuff like that.
So, so this year was a unique one. Usually around the holidays, we have these big, huge meals to bring everyone together. And it's just a big community around the holidays. But since we couldn't do it this year, we did two sort of options for people. We've got individual sort of take and serve or take and bake kind of meals, which we're noticing a lot of our non-vegans are picking up for their curiosity for one, or for their relatives that are coming who may be vegan. So they can give them a full experience. And then for people that really want to just dive in, we have like a preset meal for them, where they get, a starter, they get an entree, they get sides, they get dessert. And some of it's kind of typical. We do an amazing portobello mushroom gravy that goes with mashed potatoes. That's just kind of typical and delicious. But then we have some cool things like this year we're doing a red quinoa stuffed acorn squash that's been baked with a little bit of organic maple syrup. Got dried cranberries, pecans, just unbelievable. So just a little bit of your traditionals with something a little more fancy, maybe. I kind of want our vegans to feel like when they get to sit down, instead of getting four steamed vegetable sides, they're actually the ones with the really fancy looking dinner this year, was kind of my take on it, so that they create a little envy to the people that are eating dry turkey. Instead they've got this beautiful, vibrant, smelling, delicious kind of food that maybe it'll attract some curiosity at their table. So we'll see what happens.
Food that actually celebrates the spirit
Yes,
of Christmas, which is love, right?
absolutely. Yeah,
So,
absolutely. It's the perfect season for us. This time of year, this will be our fourth year open. has been the busiest time because it's so in the front of people's minds of being compassionate, being loving. And this year we've got to bring that to them because they can't bring it to us. So it's funny, but it's actually cool. It's nice. And also people are very appreciative this year that we're doing what we're doing, because not everybody has time to really cook proper food. And they know when they come to us, they get really nutritionally dense food, that's not only got love, but lots of vitamins. And, we do organic whenever we can. So they're just getting really high quality, good food, which is awesome. But also it's what we need because who wants to get sick? Nobody. Nobody wants to get sick. So eat the best you can right now.
Right, because you need to keep your immunity system up.
Yes.
You want to, I mean, and when you consume whole based plant foods, it's
Yep.
nourishing your body.
Absolutely. From the core out.
Yeah. It's keeping you, it's filling you with love, with kindness, compassion, because you don't have dead, tormented souls going into your body.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, it's, you're getting it right from the source. You're getting the vitamins right from the earth, the minerals, the plant proteins, all of the good stuff you're getting directly. There's nobody between you and the food except me and the farmer. So, but you have to have somebody in between you unless you want to grow your own garden.
So before we go, so you were chosen as the best vegetarian. Tell me about
Yeah,
restaurant.
the best vegetarian restaurant for 2020. Gosh, I forget what year it is.
I know.
I've got COVID mind. But yeah, we won again. We took second place last year, but since we've been open, with the exception of last year, we've been the best vegetarian because they don't have a vegan category in the city. And then this year as well, we worked really hard last year and through the beginning of 2020. We put together an over 100 vegan wine list,
Wow.
which, as far as I know, is the only one in the country. And we submitted it to Wine Spectator, and they gave us a restaurant award for it.
Ooh,
So
congratulations.
that was a really big undertaking, because we had to contact a lot of um, winemakers themselves to make sure the products were made the right way, because they're not necessarily going to advertise it because a lot of these producers are so small, they don't have a big marketing team out there pushing what they're doing. So you have to actually pick up the phone and go, "Hey, Jim from such and such vineyard, tell me about your winemaking process," and then they talk to you and you have this great dialogue and you find out either they're vegan or they're not, or they're just sustainable or whatever. But we went for 100% vegan. And it felt really good to do that. We had some wines before that were organic or sustainable, but weren't vegan. And so it was kind of nice to push them off the list and just focus on the core of what we do with the hopes that they're going to get that message that they didn't only leave the list because of one little thing they're doing, and maybe they'll want to earn their way back on it. That's my hope.
Awesome. Well, Shawn, always a pleasure to see you. Always
Pleasure
a
to see you.
pleasure to have.
Here's my air hug. I'm going to hug you through there we go. And you need your pozole. You haven't been in for your pozole lately.
I'm gonna go in probably today.
Yeah. That's your medicine. Your medicine.
And I will have information on the Acre on the social media and on this video. So people who want to enjoy some delicious food, and I know it's delicious because I've tasted it, from my very best friend, Shawn, please do so. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Nancy. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for joining us in another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Please follow us on Facebook, check out our blog, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you, yes, you have a pulse, then you have a purpose. Live vegan.